of High Five Sports, welcome in. We got 17 games to get to in the next half hour, and that's a good thing. The Braves' perfect month of June continues. Take a look. It is all W's so far. And with the 4-game sweep of the Pirates this weekend, that's now, count them, 11 wins in a row. Cody Chaffins live at our High Five Sports Game of the Week, and we are cooking up a good one, and it's going to be dog eat dog as it's Chamblee and Decatur fighting it out for a region championship. We'll preview the game, plus have a special presentation coming up. By the numbers, Falcons finished 7-10, but it could have been different either way because 13 of their 17 games were just one-score games.
Man, there always seem to be one or maybe a few make-or-break moments in the game that could have changed everything.
On that note, we're going to take you to the big wall and show you those game-changing moments throughout the 2022 season. Starting in week 1, Falcons were up 13 on the Saints, looking to make it more, but Marcus Mariota gets the ball punched out. Saints recover and, of course, come back to win the game by 1. To the 7-8 bracket, let's write them in. Carrollton, winners tonight. And we know because the universal coin flip, no matter what happens at the end of this Walton-Buford game, although like we said, Walton was ahead, Carrollton will host again at Grisham Stadium next week. And I want to show you the moment that everybody is talking about from practice today. It was number 4 overall pick, Kyle Pitts, makes a catch. The ball gets knocked away, but Pitts has the concentration enough to grab it anyway. And the fans on the hill were going crazy. His teammates all come over to celebrate. Number 8 is going to be a big contributor. We're actually going to start with a little bit of breaking news because we're counting down to tip-off. We're not exactly sure when tip-off is going to be right now. Tip-off is going to be delayed. You can see this entire side of State Farm Arena has been evacuated. Freddie, when you look at the adversity that you guys went through to be able to do this, and even in this series, it just never stopped.
No, I've said it. We seem to hit every pothole, every bump possible on a road, and we were able to overcome every single one of those.
And Alex Morgan right here up front, you remember she scored 5 goals.
Couple miles to go. I think I got this. I'll see you guys at the finish.
Now live from Truist Park, Cody, how are the Braves finally able to turn this around and break a scoreless tie?
Well, it was all about their 2-out hitting. They couldn't get it done in game 1. They got it done in game 2. You talked about the 3-hour delay. Boy, it was worth it to get an under-the-lights electric NLDS atmosphere here for game 2. And the Braves are headed to Philadelphia, all knotted up at 1 apiece. They sent their 21-game winner, Kyle Wright, to the mound today. He was outstanding. 6 innings, 6 strikeouts, and only gave up 2 hits. He got a little help from his friends, too. Check out the Braves' defense. Dansby Swanson going straight back into the outfield, makes a diving catch to get a crucial out. But maybe the changing point in this game, Ronald Acuna gets hit by a pitch from Zach Wheeler. The Braves hadn't done much against Wheeler up to that point. Acuna went down for a while. Wasn't sure if he would be able to stay in the game, but he did. So Acuna goes to first. There's 2 outs, and the Braves come through with some 2-out hits. First, it's Matt Olson scores Acuna to make it 1-0 Braves. Later, Austin Riley needed to get something going. This will work. Kind of a swinging bunt, but nobody can get out, so it's 2-0 Braves. And then Travis d'Arnaud, he told us last night he was facing one of his best friends in Zach Wheeler. He gets the best of his friend there as he sends that to center. That scores Olson, and it was 3-0 Braves. And with the way the Braves were pitching tonight and playing defense, that was more than enough. So we saw Dansby Swanson's great catch. Check out Austin Riley down the third base line. He falls onto the tarp, snow cones the ball, and somehow hangs on. Crucial out in the 8th, and then in the 9th, Kenley Jansen comes on to strike out who else but Bryce Harper to end the game. Braves get a 3-0 win. This series is all tied at 1. We also talked to Ronald Acuna in the clubhouse. He got hit kind of on the elbow. He answered one question in English, and that was the very last question. He said, "Yeah, everything's good." So hopefully that's the case moving forward for Acuna. Who knows how it will feel tomorrow. As for game 3, it will be in Philadelphia on Friday. It's a 4:37 first pitch. Brian Snitker said after the game he's still not sure who's going to start that game for the Braves. Could be Charlie Morton, maybe Spencer Strider. But we'll have more coming out later in the show. But for now, we are live at Truist Park. Cody Chaffins, Fox 5 Sports.
Where the Braves pulled out.
You know the mantras.
They never stop chopping wood.
Pressure is a privilege. And
You're either elite or you're not. And they just keep the main thing the main thing.
A way for Kirby Smart to keep his players focused and inspired. Those messages even have a way of reaching Bulldog fans as well.
We gotta keep chopping wood.
Kirby Smart had a speech about having pressure is a privilege, and I had that on repeat this morning.
So now that Georgia's 2-0 and #1 in the country in this week's AP poll, what's the message to the team?
It's like nobody cares.
Well, we do. Inquiring minds want to know.
Nobody really cares.
Pardon? Oh, gotcha. That's the motto. Nobody cares.
And nobody cares about your feelings. At the end of the day, whether you're hurt, you are tired from class, nobody really cares. At the end of the day, you're expected to do your job, and that's just what it is.
The biggest one we have is like nobody cares. South Carolina, they don't care that we won a national championship last year. They're just worried about this game Saturday, and so just putting that behind us, even though it was a big thing, just putting that behind us and worrying about what's in front of us.
So where do these sayings come from? I asked Kirby Smart.
They come from the players. The messaging comes from them, and you create an identity by what you believe in. And we've had a pretty good identity around here for a long time about being really physical. And the message might be tweaked game to game, year to year, but we hope the result and the process is the same.
And players we talked to today, they are all in.
A lot of times the thing gets hard, I'll just tell one of those mottos to myself, and then I'll just keep pushing it. So yeah, it's one Coach Schumann says a lot. He gave us a dog tag with it. It takes what it takes. So if it's ever a hot day, I'll just say to myself, it takes what it takes. So it's just small talk to myself.
So as Georgia looks to finish the drill, keep in mind that although they are #1,
it's like nobody cares.
Cody Chaffins, Fox 5 Sports. Cody Chaffins live outside SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California, as we count down to the national championship game. And as the Georgia Bulldogs have been on this run through the season, they've really become a family. And talking to some of the dogs today, they say the youngest member of that family may be the most important.
Oh, he means the world. He's just as valuable as Coach Kirby is to the team.
Is it possible? And who could this key cog be? Well, none other than young Andrew Smart.
He's on the sideline, hyping everybody up in the locker room, slapping people's pads and everything. So he's the hype man of the team.
Just having him on the sideline, seeing all the emotion that he brings to the team, even though he's not a player, he's a coach's son, but there's a fact that he's be more engaged just like us. So
Kirby Smart's youngest son seems to always be around, getting players motivated, celebrating wins, and playing a little ball himself. And there's one other part of Andrew's game. He's not afraid to call people out either, right?
He is not at all. He's not.
He also asks you why you didn't make this play. He talks to you like he's a coach because he's been around the game so long, and of course who his father is. But man, he's 12, 13 years old, wondering why you were not kicking to the half or why you didn't make the tackle or get your hat across. So I'll just say, man, he's going to be better than Coach Smart.
Kirby Smart is himself the son of a coach, and in a profession that can limit family time, he appreciates having one of his 3 kids putting in long hours on the field.
He loves football and he likes contact. He enjoys the relationship with the players. He's got a very different personality than them, so it's great because that gives me somebody with me, but I have to work really hard to spend time with my other ones because I spend so much time with football that he's around it. I end up getting more time with him. The
Smart family atmosphere won't be quite the same come Monday night at SoFi Stadium. Kirby's dad, Sonny, is not able to make the cross-country trip for health reasons. The first big game in a long time, he won't join Kirby and Andrew on the sidelines.
It hurts me that he and my mom won't be here, but I know it's the right decision for them. He's been at almost every game in terms of home games that we've had in Athens and playoff games. So, but he's taught me so much just about the way you handle things, the right way, the wrong way, control the controllables. The moment's never too big if you're prepared. A lot of my core beliefs come from the way he ran our programs in high school.
You could definitely hear the disappointment in Kirby's voice as he talked about his dad not being able to make the trip. Sonny Smart was Kirby's head coach back in high school at Bainbridge High. We'll talk more dogs, especially on defense, coming up later in the show. He only played half the season here in Atlanta, but when Jock Peterson came through the gates at Truist Park, felt like a family reunion. Fans were ready to welcome his bleach blonde hair and pearls back with open arms, literally. Jock got to the ballpark hours before his teammates just to catch up with old friends and went out of his way to sign a ton of autographs.
Even walking up today, I know we did accomplish a World Series, but the security guards and just people that work at the stadium were like, "Oh, Jock, what's up?" and this. And I was walking with teammates the other guy. You were here for 2 months. Like, what's the deal? I was like, I don't know. It's just a special spot. The coaches, the players, the staff. I mean, those are lifelong friends that you'll always share that bond with.
So with so much love between Jock and the city of Atlanta, I had to ask, was he surprised he didn't wind up back here with the Braves in free agency?
Free agency is always crazy. I think they had bigger fish to fry with the whole Freddie stuff, and I mean, I do have the same agent as Freddie, so I don't think there was going to be any like undergoing of what making deals without it addressing Freddie first.
Another part of this trip for Jock Peterson, getting his World Series ring, something he helped design that of course included a pearl and part of his infamous quote.
And I mean, we're in Atlanta, and I don't know, it just felt like it needed to be something like super flashy and cool, and I think they crushed it, and I'm really excited to see it. They asked if I wanted to ship it in the mail, and I didn't really want that. I would prefer to get it here in front of the fans. Like I said, it brings back more emotions, I feel like. So.
While Jock had pearls on today at Truist Park, they aren't those pearls. Those pearls, of course, are in Cooperstown at a Braves display at the Baseball Hall of Fame. At Truist Park, Cody Chaffins, Fox 5 Sports. It seems appropriate that Stetson Bennett's final game will come here in Hollywood. See, in Tinseltown, everybody's trying to sell their script, and Bennett's story seems perfect for the silver screen. Open scene, the setting, Blackshear, Georgia.
I mean, I've loved Georgia all my life.
A born and bred bulldog.
That's a little stit.
He's undersized to play major college football, but dons a mail carrier's cap to get recognized by scouts.
There's his mailman hat.
And it worked. Sort of. No scholarship, but Bennett was asked to walk on at his dream school.
You could tell there was something different about him.
He earned his teammates' respect on the scout team, in particular as the Dogs prepared for the Rose Bowl. Bennett played the part of Heisman-winning quarterback Baker Mayfield.
I mean, he's the GOAT. I mean, walk on to Heisman winner. I mean, you can't do much better than that.
I mean, this guy can be Baker Mayfield. He could be anybody you want him to be. This kid can play.
But playing didn't look to be in the cards in Athens, so Bennett transferred to Jones Junior College. Roll the montage. As a starter, he went 10-2, and when it was time to head back to the big time, Bennett once again came back home to Georgia.
My biggest thing, learn the offense in and out. You know, get with Jake, let him teach me because, you know, he's been here and he knows everything.
Bennett spent a year learning and waiting his turn. But cue the dramatic music. Finally, his moment, the 2020 season opener at Arkansas, rallying the Dogs for a come-from-behind win.
Oh, nice. Felt better than not doing that.
But here comes the conflict. After going 4-1 as the starter, Bennett was knocked out of Georgia's loss in Jacksonville to Florida and lost his starting role.
There was a lot of up and downs, you know, when I wasn't playing, and then when I was playing, I didn't play well enough, and then I wasn't playing again. And
all we did was try to bury him for the couple of years he was here, and all he did was continue to fight and compete.
Bennett wouldn't start again for another 10 months. Cut to Game 2 of the 2021 season. An injury opens the door. Bennett wouldn't give up that starting role again, but he wasn't without his critics. A 2-interception game in the SEC Championship had the doubters calling for Bennett's job.
You can't put any value on people who really have no clue what they're talking about talking.
Kirby Smart stuck with Bennett, and it paid off. With the Dogs' backs against the wall in the national championship, the mailman delivered.
I can't describe the feeling. You know, I tried not to put, you know, Bulldog Nation on my shoulders. I just started crying. The emotion just came over me.
That would have been a perfect Hollywood ending had he chosen to ride off into the sunset. But there's nothing Hollywood loves more than a sequel. So Bennett came back for one final run at age 25. And like any good sequel, there was a new look.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna keep it short.
A banging soundtrack.
It's Bubbly by Colby Calais. I love that song.
And there was, of course, more product placement.
I'll be the milkman. No one knows that better than Schumann Farms.
This time around, there were new twists.
Probably 600-700 text, everything. Yeah, a lot of messages.
And big-time recognition.
Stetson Bennett, the fourth.
Bennett also finished off what was incomplete in 2021.
Winning the SEC is a big deal.
And finally, after one more come-from-behind victory, Bennett stands on the doorstep of history. A chance to be just the 5th quarterback to win back-to-back national titles in the annals of college football. It would make a great movie, wouldn't it? But see, in this final act, Bennett can no longer be cast as the underdog. It was TCU who was unranked at the beginning of this season, and Max Duggan, their quarterback, he wasn't the starter at the beginning of the year. Since then, he's become a Heisman finalist and also has his team in the national championship game. In Los Angeles, Cody Chaffins, Fox 5 Sports. The Braves held their ring ceremony before tonight's game with the Reds, and we finally got to see the hardware. And there are so many details included in this World Series ring. First off, there are 150 diamonds in this A on the front, representing 150 years of the Braves franchise. There are 44 emerald cut diamonds along the side for Hank Aaron's number, of course. Also on the side, there's a pearl inside the World Series ring. Well, that represents Jock Peterson's pearls. 4 diamonds underneath this World Series for 4 straight division titles. On the inside of the ring, well, you've got the 3 playoff series represented. Also the date of the trade deadline, because that was a big part. The in-season moves, a big part of the championship. And at the bottom, you even have Guillermo Heredia's sword. But the coolest feature of this ring is that the front opens up. Inside, there are lights and rubies. You see Truist Park's field right here. There are 11 rubies. You see the red rubies. They represent the 11 home runs the Braves hit during the World Series and where all of those home runs landed on the field. Braves are going to be giving out replicas. I'm sure it won't be this fancy during their game coming up on Monday.
As Cody Chaffins joins us now at LAX with more on the arrival. Cody?
They are here. They have touched down, Russ and Courtney. I'm going to step out of the way and let you see what's going on. You can see the dogs are deplaning. Got my eyes on Kirby Smart over by the 2023. It's getting ready to do a quick interview with ESPN. The rest of the players, it's the offensive coordinator over by the bus, Super Blaine. You can find Todd Monken going onto the bus now, the offensive coordinator for the Bulldogs, followed by Big Tate Ratledge out of Rome, Georgia. He has got the mullet in full effect. I don't know if he had to do any special touch-ups to it for the national championship, but he is getting on the plane right now. One of the things all the Dog fans will be watching is Darnell Washington, the big tight end. You can see him out here. He hurt his ankle in the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. He looks to be walking just fine right now. So that is great news for the Bulldogs and great news for Darnell Washington. The big guy is from Las Vegas. This is going to be as close to a home game as he gets. So great to see him, and you can't miss him. He is the largest guy out there, Darnell Washington, and he's huge in the blocking for the run game for Georgia. So can definitely get them going. Right behind him, see inside linebacker Jamon Dumas-Johnson.